Welcome to the making of a DM. How I've raised over 9 figures from private investors. I'm going to spill the beans, as my boy Tim Bratz would say. So with that said, let's get started.
I'm more Kevin's I'm more Kevin's deal. I'm here to help and teach him what I know and how I did it. To discover freedom. There ain't no question more Kevin's when he step in the door. He's closing deals. Time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker. But I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker.
Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evans, DM. Thank you so much for being here. And if I sound amped up, well, the truth is it's because I am. Why? Well, I'm glad you asked. Today, as I'm recording this, we actually just helped small business owners get over. Actually, I don't say the exact number, but it's 8 figures in 1 hour. 8 figures in 1 hour. I love talking about money. The more I talk about money, the more I earn. The more I talk about money, the more money I get, right? It's an amazing thing. But today, before I get started, I'm going to share with you some really, for real, behind-the-scenes stuff. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks that people don't talk about money. Again, in my world, we talk about money every day, all the time, with my sales guys, my CFOs, and my fiduciaries, and my money people. I mean, it's just normal conversations around here over in the Mark Evans DM world. And I'm not saying that to sound arrogant or cocky by any means. It's just, I genuinely, I've been doing this for 25 plus years. And sometimes, as you know, what we think is normal may not be so normal. So I want to kind of pull back the curtains today. But before I do, again, thank you so much for all the 5-star reviews. We're touching a lot of people's lives thanks to you. If you've left a 5-star review, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It really is a big deal. If you haven't, I'd ask why not. Please tell me. I don't charge anything for the show. I'm sharing real information. I have nothing to sell you except the dream that you can make more and teach you how to go get it. I'm not talking theory. I'm not talking the same BS all these other guys talk about. I'm talking real world, impactful shit. I don't have, 30 guests a day on the show. I want to share with you. I want to really help you. I want to get in your ear. I want to get in your heart. I want to get in your soul and get in your brain and open up the door. So if you've not left a 5-star review, please do so over on iTunes. If you've gotten the books, Meconomy, 10-Minute Business Owner, Magician vs. Muir, any of my other 13 books total, I believe now, please go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, etc., wherever you bought it, and leave an amazing review. It'd mean so much. Not only that, if you may or may not know this, I'll just share this real quick, but 100% of the net profits goes to charities through all my books. We've donated 6 figures to charities through book sales, and I look forward to giving many, many, many millions more away over my lifetime and beyond. So we can help a lot of people that we'll never touch. We talk about this called Care 360. It's a pretty powerful way to give back at many levels. So don't think that you don't, I don't have anything to help. I don't have anything to share. 1, you can leave a review. It's free. 1, you could go to Amazon, leave a review. It's free. 2, 3, you could go buy a book for $15. It's only $15. And knowledge up. Not only you knowledge up, but you're going to change someone's life. You're going to make an impact in someone that you'll probably more likely never meet on the other side of that, but through the charities. So we need you. We really do. You are important. You mean something. I know sometimes we get beat up. We feel like, we're a nobody, unless it's just me feeling like that. Sometimes oh man, I'm just a pissant in this, this grand scheme of things, which we really are. But when we're talking life and business while we're around, it's very important. You're an important person. So I want to share with you about money. I've raised over 9 figures from private investors. Interesting point about me, you may or may not know this, but I've done many real estate transactions. And I've never personally been to the bank to do a loan. I've always done private loans and or owner financing of some sort or a mixture of both. So I'm not here to like, oh, it's amazing. Like, you got to understand, when I started out in real estate, I had negative cash. I had no credit. I didn't even have a credit card. I couldn't get credit cards. I had no credit, so I had to get creative. And if you're here listening to the show, you better be a fucking resourceful person if you want to stay growing and constantly moving forward. Because that's like, if you're not resourceful, you gotta learn about this. So, money. When I say talk about money, what comes to mind? What hits you? Is it like, it's weird, that's kind of douchey, or or do you like, yeah, man, fuck, I want to talk about money all the time too? Where does your brain go for real? If you see someone with a lot of money, do you get excited or do you talk shit? You might not say shit out loud, but you might be talking it internally. Like, oh yeah, it must be nice for them. Well, oh yeah, I wonder who they screwed to get that, right? Raising money is very easy to do if you're talking to people that have money. If you have a great product, it doesn't have to be great. I mean, shit, people are getting ripped off every day on shitty products with private money. I'm not recommending that, but I mean, look around, right? But I think about me, guys. I grew up small town, hillbilly, Ohio, trailer court till I was 10, and never met anybody ever made over, I don't know, 50,000, let alone 100,000 a year. So I was always intimidated by it. But I'm sharing the story because the story is important for where I'm going. I grew up watching my mom and dad fight about money every single day of my life. My dad still stresses out like, geez, I can't spend $25 on that. I can get it for $14.99 over here. He's the guy sitting in the line 3 hours to save 2 cents a gallon on gas. I'm not judging him. I'm just sharing a story. This is a true story, by the way. And everything's about money. And it's everything about what they don't have about money, right? It's, they're exhausting all this mental, emotional energy and like worrying about saving a couple pennies here and there. And I'd always watch them as a kid, for real, thinking like, well, if money's the problem, why don't we go make more? And then they'd always say, oh, Mark, easy for you to say. You're still in school. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand how hard it is and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think it's hard. Like, make money. Like that's the solution. See, I know a lot of people think there's a money issue, like, oh man, I don't have money. I can't do that. I can't do that. Well, the truth is you have a making money issue. Most people don't have a spending issue. They have a money making issue. They get in a job making $15 an hour. They don't see through the weeds. They're too busy. And then when they get off after working 6 hours, but probably only work 2 hours, like, man, I deserve to go to the bar and get a beer. Then they fuck off for the next 6 hours. Then they don't take care of business. They're not knowledgeing up. They're not learning. I see this happen all the time. And then they repeat process. Man, I wish I could have that. You can. Whatever you can fucking think about you having, you can have it. The question is, are you willing to go get it? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to become someone different to get what you want? Yes, you got to change. You got to change your stinking thinking. You got to change your conversations. Start talking about the goals, the dreams, the visions, the opportunities. Stop talking about the obstacles, the struggles, how hard it is. No one cares. First of all, most people tell me how hard it is, fucking don't even do anything. The only thing hard on them is their head. They're hard-headed. I've been called hard-headed many times myself, but it's hard-headed. I'm focused on my dreams. I don't care. Guys, I get kicked in the nuts 24/7 over here. I'm getting beat up constantly. I got 4 Mike Tysons in the ring often, beating the shit out of me, but I'm going to get back up and I'm going to keep moving. And then I'm going to get 6 Mike Tysons on me. It's part of the game. But raising money will change your life. Having access to capital gives you so many opportunities. You don't even know how many opportunities you have. And again, I'm not saying this to be silly or whatever. I'm just trying to talk real with you, as I always do. I turn down more money than most people are trying to get in their life in a day. Not because I'm better than them. I just have people call me like, Evans, you always do the right thing. I got 2 million. Hey, Evans, I got 500,000. Man, I got 200 G's. I was at an event, true story. And the guy comes up to me. He's like, man, I got a couple $100,000 coming due. I'd love to invest with you. First time I've ever met this guy. He knows me through a relationship of a guy I've invested a lot of money with over the years. together. And he met me at this event randomly. This is a random conversation. And I was like, dude, I'd love to take your money. I don't have a need for it. But I'm here with my boy Mike. He has a need for it. You two should connect. I'm not saying do anything, but if the opportunity exists, you two should do something together and make a lot of money together. See, that's how money works. Money's a conversation. Money's just whatever. It's just a tool. And a lot of people don't talk about money. I talk about money, I swear on my life, to everyone I talk to. It's like if someone's like, yo, man, I guess I made a lot of money today. Cool, how much? Most people are like, oh my God. They go on their Instagram, dude, I talked to someone who made a lot of money. What the fuck does that even mean? What's a lot of money? And they'll be like, man, I made $300 today. Well, hold on. So if I heard a lot of money, my lot of money is way more than $300, FYI. I'm not saying it to be silly, but that's the truth. So if I heard it and I'm trying to help you get a lot of money, but I'm talking millions and you're talking hundreds, there's a fucking massive disconnect. You're going to be very frustrated, and I'm going to be wasting my time and be frustrated as well. So what do? Again, that's why you're here. I'm going to give you some real tips on how, to gain access to a lot of money. And I know a lot of you are thinking, and maybe not thinking, well, dude, I'll go to my aunt, I'll go to my uncle, I'll go to my cousin, I'll go to my friend, I'll go to my buddy. They have money. What the truth, God's honest truth. One, my family didn't have money to go after, so I'd never even approached that subject that borrow or have them lend, be the bank, if you will, on properties I did. But the truth is, it's easier, from my experience, to raise money from a stranger than it is someone in your network when you're beginning. Absolutely easier. Why? Because they remember snotty-nosed, picking your butt, picking your nose, Billy, trying to bang his sister's cousin's brother, or whatever they're doing. And that's how they've judged you. They've seen you fail. They've seen you be a kid. They've seen, maybe they know some people in your family, and they're judging on that. Again, we all come from all walks of life. If you can gain access to a lot of money from your direct community, the reason is because you guys are talking about money. I promise. Broke people, the only money they talk about is not having it. I swear on my life. I experienced it for 18 years of my life. I saw it happen every single day of my life. I still, when I go to dinner with my dad and mom, I have to tell them to order from the left side of the menu, not the right side. Why? Because every decision they make is about money, of buying cheaper. Dad, what do you want? I want the filet. Oh, Jesus, I'm not paying $62. I'll take the porterhouse. It's only $38. Dad, what do you want? Right? First of all, you're not even paying. He's not even paying. I'm paying. What do you want? And once you understand, guys, money holds, we're such a slave to money. Most people are. And when you realize money is your slave, instead of you being a slave to it, this game changes. The game changes. It's a lot more fun. And then you start seeing a lot of money. So true story, as I'm talking to you today, like I said, we got people over 8 figures in money, small business owners, 8 figures. And I'll put the link in there because if you're a small business owner and you haven't got access to this money, it's free. It costs you nothing. You don't have to pay it back. And it's a government. I mean, guys, depending when you're listening to this, this is insane. If you're a business owner and you have W-2 employees, make sure to check out the show notes and watch the video I did with my buddy Josh. Watch it. It literally could change your life. We got one person on there, potentially, they might get 8 figures with themselves. Yes, one company. Actually, they have multiple companies, multiple locations, but they have a lot of employees, 900 employees. They're going to gain access to a lot of money for free. What would an extra 100, 200, 300, 500,000 or $1 million plus do for your business? Well, depending on the size of your employees, how many W-2s you have, and your situation, it could be massive. It could be amazing. So what I want you to start doing is start planting seeds daily. Stop force feeding people. As an investor, I invest money on stuff every day. I'm a private investor. I literally invest every single day of my life. Swear, true. At this point in my life, that's what I'm doing. I'm getting my money working for me everywhere, every day, in all kinds of environments, from the F&B space, food and bev, to the gun space, to the real estate space, to the private money space, to owning business spaces, to technology, to CR. I mean, it's endless. And my biggest problem is, making sure I'm not spreading myself too thin across the board. But one thing I'm constantly doing is I've always known plant the seed. So let me paint the picture. If you go to an event or you go somewhere and you're talking with someone, don't throw up on them. Stop throwing up on them, because this is what people do to me. Mark, I got the best deal in the world. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, fucking take a breath and step back. What's your name? Right? Like, slow down. This is like dating, right? You don't walk in naked to the bar and say, yo, what's up? Let's go. No, you walk in, you sit down at the bar, you say, hi, my name's Mark. What's yours? Hey, can I buy you a drink? Boom. Right? Hey, what do you do for a living? Boom. Hey, why are you here? It's 2:00. We should all both be at fucking work. Right? But at the end of the day, you got to slow stuff down. Your problem's not their problem, and don't make it so. So when people are approaching me, and by the way, like I said, I've raised 9 figures. That means over $100 million in private money, way more over the years. And I'm just sharing positivity, great stories, deals I'm doing, and people naturally raise their hand and say, yo, man, I want to invest with you. Great place for this to happen is high-level masterminds. Go to business masterminds, e-commerce masterminds, industry masterminds. Go to places where people have money and just share your story and be like helpful. Help people with your knowledge. Share like, yo, here's a deal I got. Can you help me? Don't ask them for the money. Just say, hey, I'm looking at this house. It's worth $100,000. I can get it for $50,000. What would you do to finance this deal? Like, me as an investor, I'm like, yo, well, first of all, congrats on finding a great deal of 50 cents on the dollar. What's your goal to do with it? I just want to flip it real quick and make 25 grand. Cool. Well, I've done that a lot and I know how to do it. What's your biggest hang up right now? And then they're like, well, I need the money. Okay, cool. I got the money. If I brought the money, you brought the deal, what's it look like if we chop it up? That means the 25 grand profit, how does that look? In the beginning, it could be 50-50. Someone give this guy 50 grand and make 12.5 on it. That's a 25% return on my money. And that deal typically happens within 30 days or less. Typically same day sometimes. Is that a good deal or not? That's how you get your money working for you. And again, this is normal life to me. This happens all the time. All the time. And it can happen all the time for you. But I've been planting seeds for years. So I'm not trying to say you're going to have these opportunities flowing tomorrow because you listen to this. But I've went to wine tasting events. Guess what? I didn't even drink wine. And I'm out there hanging out at wine. Why? Well, if they're spending $100 a bottle of wine and they're buying 4 bottles a night, they might have a couple dollars. And I'm not saying this is douchey or, you have to dress up. Just go there and be you. Obviously understand the market you're in and what you're doing and what the goal is. But I just go in there hey, man, what's going on? And they're like, oh, you don't drink wine? It's like, yeah, I'm just not good at wine. I don't understand it. And then they want to share with you and they want to open up. Find that middle row. Find that connection point. Connect with people. And before you know it, they're asking you, what do you do? And I tell them, I'm an investor. Back in the day, I was like, I'm a real estate investor. Buy and sell houses. And my question is always this, guys. This is very interesting. Pay attention, please. I always ask him a question. This is a true story. I do it to this day because I do care. And most people don't understand this question and how powerful it is. My question is always, every time I'm talking to someone, it's like, what is your biggest problem in your business? What is the biggest problem you face with what you do? Right? It might be like, well, I have a lot of money. I don't know where to place it. I don't trust people. I don't do this. Or maybe my employees. Whatever they say, listen and connect. And if you have a solve or solution, or if they say, man, my problem is I paid $22 million in taxes this year, and you don't have a solution, you say, damn, that's a good problem to have then. By the way, that means they made a lot of money, right? And if they made a lot of money and they paid a lot of taxes, guess what? They want to make more money. I've always found that people have money always want to make more. And they allocate differently. Everyone's different. Some people are ultra risky. Some people are very simple. Some people want, hands off. Some people want to be engaged, etc. Like, you got to find that out through your conversations. But let's say if he says, man, my biggest problem right now in my life and business, I just pay too much in taxes. Maybe you have a solution for that. Maybe you don't. Either way, you listen, you acknowledge it. Guess what they say next? Mark, what's your biggest problem in your business? Think about this. Before I go on, think about this. I want you to pay attention next time someone says, hey, man, nice shirt. 99% of you say, thank you. Nice shirt as well. Or nice shoes, Bill. Hey, thanks, man. Your shoes look nice too. What you're doing is you're planting a question in their brain, listening, which most people don't listen, value adding, and then naturally they want to reciprocate the question. Why wouldn't they? Mark, what's your biggest problem in your business? Steve, honestly, man, my biggest problem is I have too many deals. I don't have enough money for all these deals coming down the pipe. We're crushing it, but I'm getting squeezed out by competition because I don't have the capital to keep in front of these deals and make money, make more money. And then they naturally ask, what kind of money are you typically looking for? And I'm thinking, I'm glad you asked. I work with a lot of private investors such as yourself, and they park money on deals and they act as the bank. You're secured by the real estate and make a return and blah, 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 blah. And then they say, okay, well, what kind of return? And I'm like, well, that all depends. There's a lot of variables to that. And then flip the script. What kind of returns do you typically look for? That's an important question. Why is that an important question, Mark? Well, the reason it's an important question is if they're used to talking to financial advisors and planners and they're very conventional, they might say, listen, 6%? And then when you hear that, that's something you should take note of. Because my private investors get 10, 12% all day long. But if I say 12% to someone like that, in that moment, they're out. Too good to be true. If it's too good to be true, it must be too good to be true, right? So you lose the prospect instantly. And then the conversation will get awkward. I fucked this up many times. That's why I'm telling you exactly what I do. Like, this is what I've done. I've messed this up so many times. It's like those weird, awkward, okay, I got to go. I got to get another bottle of wine. I'll be back. And they never come back. But if he says 6%, it's like, cool, man. Have you ever done any kind of have you ever invested in real estate? No, but I'd love to. I'm actually kind of busy. I'm a doctor. I just don't have time, truthfully, but I've always been interested in it. So what he's really saying is he doesn't have time, but he has money. What I'm saying is I have time. I need more money. So our job is to connect the dots through conversations. And then slow down at this point. Don't go for the fucking jugular or bank account. Say, hey, man, Steve, dude, I would love if there's an opportunity to do deals with you in the future. I know we're here hanging out, having wine and all that, but, if you don't mind, I'll get your number. I'll shoot you a message, or if you want to talk about now, whatever. But now I'm putting the ball back in his court to see how aggressive or unaggressive he really is trying to be. And I'm going to listen. And about 50% of the time, it's like, yeah, man, I'd love to connect. Right? And then I walk on to the next table. Same thing. Next table. Same thing. In the hallway. Same thing. Taking a piss beside the urinal. Same thing. I'm talking to people about money all the time. This is an amazing gift for my kids. They hear dad talk about money every day. All the time. Think about being a kid talking about moving monies around. I just did a deal. I gave a guy 650 grand. True story. I gave him 650 grand for 2 months. He paid me 75 grand back on top of it. That's a fucking massive return for 2 months. He named the number. I didn't. He did. Because he was going to make a whole hell of a lot more money. If that money didn't come in, he's going to lose it all. He's going to get zero. So this is where people get mixed up. They're like, well, I would never pay someone 75 grand for 2 months. Well, that's why you don't have a lot of money. That's why you don't have people stand by for you to shoot a text and get fucking millions of dollars. True story. This guy texts me right now and says, yo, Evans, I need $1 million for XYZ. Cool, send the paperwork over. We'll knock it out. When you need it to close by? Tomorrow. Done. Now, I'm not saying you have to be an investor like me on that, but that's the world we live in, speed. That's why we're able to get big returns. But back to this guy we're talking to. He says 6%. You say, hey, listen, we offer our client, our partners 8% yearly. And then they get excited. They're like, oh, wow, 8%. That's me. That's 2% more. By the way, it's not 2% more. It's 25% more, right? 2 points on 6 points is 25% difference, I believe, somewhere around there. It's a huge, huge difference. You know what I mean? Huge difference, right? So, and then you tell him, hey man, maybe he asks you, what's your average size deal? Whatever it is, say it. 150 G's. Is that something you could do in the future? Absolutely, Mark. Cool, man. You need another glass of wine? This conversation's going good, right? Just slow down. Connect with people. This isn't a race, dude. This is a marathon. Focus. And what I like to call it, just planting seeds daily. Talking on the phone, planting seeds. This guy meets me at that place, wants to give me 200 G's. I don't have any use for it at all at this time in my life, but maybe I will. But you know what's cool about that? I know the guy he'll hook up and do deals with is going to serve them both well. I just gained 2 great friends again. They have access to more money. Maybe one day I need access to 100 million and maybe they put 2 million of that in it. That's how this game of money works. It's not how much can I get today. It's how much can I get long-term. I look at this at a very long-term approach. Even when I was 20 years old raising money, I was literally thinking when I'm 60, 70 years old, how much money we're going to do together. You know what I mean? So this is what happens. But be careful with telling people, I pay 12%. That scares the average person. I pay 10%. That scares the average person. They don't understand it. I've talked about this. My father-in-law, he had his money in a CD at the bank. And I didn't know that. He told me about it because we're talking about money. Every Sunday when he's over here, I'm talking about money. Why? Because I talk about money every single day. It's this. Hopefully you're getting the point. But he was kind of telling me, and he's like, oh, I didn't even think about, Mark, my CD's coming up, and I'd like to, what kind of things? And obviously, it's my father-in-law, so I give him 10%. Here's the first thing he said. You got to keep in mind, old school, not a lot of money, worked really hard to get what he has, and just he's never knowledged up on money at all. So he's put his money in the CD, and he was getting like $250 a year. Yes, $250 a year in interest. When he moved to me, he gets $10,000 a year. Big difference. First thing he asked me, Mark, how in the hell could you pay me that much money and the bank can't? So I don't know. You should call your bank and ask them, because your bank's making way more money than that on your money. See, the thing is if you understand risk reward and understand how money works and how to protect it, some people at their later years are more worried about the return of investment instead of return on investment. They're more worried about, trust and making sure it's going to be there tomorrow than how much can I make next week. Oftentimes, the older people. So you got to find out what their risk tolerance are. Talk to them about money. Dude, you do anything in crypto right now? Fuck no, that's a scam. It's probably not a person you want to roll with. They don't understand money because crypto is making lots of wealthy people a lot wealthier, right? So it's a qualifier. Oh, yeah, it's bullshit. Cool. I'm out. Enjoy your wine, right? Like, these are the things we need to be thinking about. If I'm at the bar or restaurant, I like to go sit at the bar by myself and have lunch. I'm not drinking, but I'm having lunch. And if people come rolling up beside me, I'm talking to them. Hey, what's going on, man? You need anything? Right? I'll buy them a drink. I'll do what? Buy them a bowl of soup, something, whatever. And then you start talking. You don't have to do that, but I like to kind of lead like that sometimes. And then you just start talking. Typically, the first thing is like, How's your day going? What do you think about the weather? I like to say, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a blah, 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 retired, whatever. Cool. That's amazing, dude. You do anything in the real estate space? Or they'll typically ask me what I do, right? Again, toss the question out. They typically ask the same question back. It's like Pete and repeat. You know what I mean? That's how this game works. But again, like on social media, don't ask for money on social media because it's illegal. Most people are doing illegal asking on social media. I'm not here to judge that. It is what it is. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. But there's a lot of ways to do it without asking. How do you do that? Well, post your success stories. Share your results. Share your journey. Now, notice I didn't say, create. I said just share it by documenting. Let's say if you bought a house for $100,000 and you sold it for 150, and you used a private investor and they got paid back this and you got paid back that, and this is the timeline it took. Share that fucking story. Show the before and after pic and share the story. That's it. You don't have to say, by the way, if you have $100,000, you'd like to do deals like this, give me a call. No, just you sharing the story consistently. Well, people say, hey man, that's awesome. Great job on the deal. I have access to some money. If you ever have a deal that pops up that you need some money for, let me know. I'd love to be the investor you just talked about. See, the thing is when you're not in their face screaming, I need money, babe, please, please. Well, if you beg for money, you're very rarely going to get it. And if you get it, it's not going to be good money. It's not going to be cheap, that's for sure. Dig your well before you're thirsty. My buddy Tim's amazing at this. He provides amazing value all the time. He supports all the time. He'll share stuff. Like, he's just a good dude. He gets the game of money. He'll text me, yo, man, I need $1 million tomorrow. Okay, cool, done. He pays real money. He pays on time, and he gets his shit done. See, it's not about the cost of money. It's about the value of the opportunity. You can always go to the bank and get cheaper money. If that's the case, why aren't you going to the bank every day to get money? It's because the banks suck ass. They're hard. They're old school. They limit you on loans. They're not fast at all. Fast is an understatement. Sloth speed at best. So with private money, it's very quick and easy. Simple. How many deals have you seen go by in front of you and that you wanted to do? That the only reason you couldn't do it because you didn't have access to the money or it'd take too long to get the money. Right? Because you got to, oh shit, I got to go to the bank. I got to SBA. I got to do this. It might take you 60 days to knock out a deal. Well, those 60 days, that deal's come and gone many times over if it's a good deal. Many times. I'll take that deal down in a nanosecond. I can move faster than the title company, that's for sure. I could have the money sitting there in an escrow account within nanoseconds, and then they got to pull the paperwork, they got to get the contract, they got to they got to go to the courthouse, they got to, do all the shit they do, and then 3 to 5 days later, they'll get back to you. So clear to close, here's the deal. But I'm ready. And the thing is guys, at all levels, I don't care if you have 100 million sitting in the bank right now. You're one deal away from being broke. Literally. Cash poor. That's what I say when I say broke. That's what that means to me. Cash poor. Broke is a mentality, right? Mental mentality. Cash poor. Here's what I mean. If a $200 million complex came up online and you could buy it today for $100 million, you don't let that pass. You stroke the check, knock the deal down, and go you just made a lot of money. But you're cash poor now. So the next day you get another deal, $10 million, but you're like, dude, it's worth 30. You can't do it. You're out of cash. You're tapped out for a minute. So what do you do? Well, ideally, you've planted seeds with amazing people and you could contract the deal and get the money very quickly, very quickly, because you've created relationships. You've laid the groundwork. You've planted seeds. You've harvested the field. And now it's time to go pick the crops. There's many fields and crops I've planted and I'm still nurturing 20 years later. As I speak to you right now, I have guys I've met over 20 years ago that have invested tens of millions of dollars with me and still do today. I could text my buddy right now, Doug, and say, yo, man, here's the deal. 200 G's. You want to do something? He knows I'm going to pay him. He knows I'm going to do the right deal. I always do the right fucking thing, even when it sucks. And he'd say, cool, where do you want me to send the money? This is what money does. It gives you opportunities if you're talking about it, if you're setting it up, if you're organizing it. And I see so many people overpromising, right? Like I said, slow it down. Ask individuals, what do they want? See, the thing is, it's easy. I get it. When you're like in your situation, you're caught up in your own little world. But when you start serving other people and asking them questions, better questions, like, hey man, I need help. I got this deal. I don't know how to make it happen. Guys like me want to help you make it happen. Why? Because everyone else is like, dude, I got the biggest deal in the world. You're gonna make so much money. $2,000 is not that's not a lot of money. And they're asking for money. They haven't even told me their fucking name and they're begging for money. It's like, you're better than that. I do this everywhere. If I'm hanging out in church, I'm talking about money. Why? Well, first of all, the church wasn't built for free. It costs money. So we got to get these guys to understand we got to put some more money in this pot so we can build something cooler. Update the property. Update the bathrooms. Do something. Like, money is a tool. It's pointless if you don't do anything with it. It's worthless. If you have $2 million in the bank doing nothing and you don't know how to, it does nothing for you. Except create this mental, emotional, you wake up in the morning, you check your bank, like, oh, I have $2 million in the bank. Yay. Back to work. But why not put $1.5 million in the market and make $15,000 a month doing nothing? You can do that. You know that, right? There's opportunities like that everywhere, especially now. There always has been, but it's very big now. There's deals got everywhere. I was talking with a banker lady of mine, super amazing lady, doing some cool stuff. And she has access to a decent amount of money. Just her personal money. What's even cooler, she's an amazing person. It's created amazing relationships and does over-the-top service for them in the banking side. She has access to hundreds of millions of dollars at her fingertips at any given time if she makes a transition out of her job. She's built trust, rapport, relationships, more importantly, helped them make their life easier. And when you do that kind of stuff, you gain access to money. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to talk to your spouse about money. Pay attention. Talk to your spouse about money. Talk to your parents about money. Talk to people you know about money. Just start testing on them and play around with this. If you've never done this before, it's going to be very uncomfortable. I'm actually uncomfortable not talking about money. Why? Because money can solve fucking problems. When my buddies tell me he's getting a divorce, and it's not like, cool, man, why are you getting divorced? Oh, man, we're just hard times right now, blah, blah. That means money. He probably doesn't know how to manage money. Probably doesn't know how to make money. Probably hasn't invested the time to learn about money. And now they're getting a divorce. If I can help you get money, I can at least take that off your plate of fighting, relationships. Truth is, a lot of times as you get bigger, you're going to fight about money just in a different way. Hun, you're spending too much. So that's why money conversations need to happen all the time. I don't ask Dina for permission to buy stuff. I just bought something for $3.5 million yesterday, signed the contract. I don't call Dina, hey, hon, can I buy this house? What should we do? Dude, I got my shit dialed in. Same thing with her. She can do whatever she wants. She can buy whatever she wants. I don't care. Why? Because I trust her. I understand where her head's at about money. We talk about money. We know how money works. So the reason I've been able to raise so much money and continue to do so is because I'm always talking about money. My guys that I roll with in the DM fam, we talk about money every single day. You're talking about vendors about money. You're talking to your employees about money. You're talking to your CFO about money. You're talking to your accountant about money. You're talking about your fiduciaries about money. My day is consumed with talking about money. I've got 4 calls as I'm talking to you right now. Guys that want to talk about money. True story. 2 of them are about me getting money, and the other 2 are me sending money potentially. This is true. This is real life. On your social media, I want you to post about some of your wins. Don't beg or ask for money. Just share your story. Share the deal. Talk to them. Let them know. Learn how to write a better story. Start extracting through the story. More importantly, be consistent with it. Because listen, as a private investor, if you call me and ask me for money, I'm going to go on social media and see what you talk about. And if I see every Monday at 12 noon, you post about a positive deal, positive results, positive people, positive things, and you're sharing this every week, I'm looking for your consistent behaviors because that tells me a lot about you. Your consistency, what you're talking about or what you're not talking about. It's always interesting to me. People, it's like begging for money. I go to their site and everything's negative. You don't understand, man. It's rough out there. Man, I wouldn't give this fucker a penny. Truth is, I don't even give him my time. Because they don't care about themselves. They don't care about what, they just don't care. All they care about is talking shit. There's nothing positive to it. Money's a positive tool if used properly. We built that place in Haiti, raised I donated $300,000. I think I raised 150 of that, and then I brought the rest myself. That houses 500 people for the rest of their life. Children that were sleeping on the streets now get to sleep in a room with their mom and dad in a safe environment. A fully sustained self-community. You can check it out. It's called the Caring House Project Foundation. The DM Family Village. It's real. Money did that. My conversations that I created over the years did that. When we did the charity event, we raised $150,000 in 45 minutes or less. My buddy Brunky, the artist, come in. Boom, bought all this. I bought a bunch of art pieces and I auctioned them off. A lot of people gave money. Money. Auctions are talking about money. Who in here wants to buy this for $25,000? Sold. Money. Are you talking about money in a positive way? How to get more? How to give more? How to grow what you got to get more and give more? Don't be counting the fucking pennies 24/7 trying to figure out how to skimp your way to success. Invest in yourself. I was at a mastermind, this is probably 5 years ago. I still go to them today, by the way. Masterminds are great if they're the right ones. But I'm sitting in the room and I'm just like listening to people and I'm just dropping a couple thoughts throughout 2 days. And one guy come up to me, his name's Mike. He's like, dude, I want to invest with you. You know your shit. Keep in mind, I've never met this guy my entire life. And this is an older guy, very successful, has access to a lot of money because he owns a big CPA firm. And he's like, I like what you talk. I like the way you talk. I like the way you think. I liked what you said. I know you're the real deal. Been around the block. And I didn't even need the money. I did the deal to forge a relationship with him at a deeper level. Money was the entry. We connected. We still talk. I'm a partner with him in a business now. Money made that happen. So back to the question. When I say, let's talk about money, how does it make you feel? See, the thing is like you can't solve the problem. Most people are trying to solve the wrong problem. Well, I'm trying to make more money. Cool. How much are you making? Well, I'm not sure. Well, how the fuck do you know if you're making more or less then? Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm making more. It just doesn't feel like it. Well, feelings don't matter. Data matters. This is why I always have that saying, data, not drama. Guys, everyone means something different. Like, for example, hey, how much does it mean if you're wealthy? If there's 20 people in a room, it means something for all 20 people, something different. Mine might be 10 billion, your might be 100 million. I've done this many times where I take surveys and the truth is the average is like $1 million. $1 million to be wealthy. Just a heads up, newsflash, you're not fucking wealthy if you have $1 million in the bank. At all, not even close. At all. Not even remotely close. Especially depending on your age. $1 million is not what $1 million used to be 50 years ago. Like I always say, I think the average person in their 40s and 50s should have at least $25 million. Bare bones. Like I would be sweating bullets if I didn't have access to at least 25 mil. I'm here to stretch your mind today. Not because I don't care, because I do care. I want you to start thinking about money differently. I want you to start enjoying money. Like the last show I did, I talked about these experiences I do with my families. My family, my in-laws and my parents and all that, right? My cousins, my nieces. I want to pay for everything. I want to create memories. I want to create moments. They don't have the money to do those things at this point in their life. I do, and I enjoy it. Makes me feel really good. It's fun to me. It's fun to me to think about how to turn just a foursome going out to go golfing to turn it into a really cool experience. Like rent out a mountain. I've done this where we rent out a mountain and we all get together and we hang out for 2 days, disconnect, and then we go golfing with the DM fam, and then we go bowling. I mean, like, I want experiences, and I spend a lot of money to do it, but it's just money. The relationships are so much more valuable than money, but money helped make the relationships happen. They create the environment. So I was always raised, if you had a lot of money, you were a bad person or did something bad to get it. I find it oftentimes the opposite. The majority of the people I know, actually 100% of the people I roll with, do the right thing, and they're very charitable, very giving, very forward-thinking. You know, they're getting beat up they're in the trenches. They want to win. Money's not a bad thing. And I want you to start talking about money more. I've raised so much money. I invest a lot of money. Like, start learning the psychology of money. Because if you're broke, that's a moment in time. You're going to get wealthy if you do the right steps. And you're going to wake up one day like, dude, why didn't I push it harder? Why didn't I have more conversations? If you have a money problem, I would thought audit on it. What is the problem? Is the problem you have stinking thinking thoughts about money? Money's always fleeting you. Every time you get it, it's a rainy day because you got a rainy fund. Always seems like it's fucking raining. You're like Charlie Brown over there with a black cloud over your head 24/7. It's not true. It's made up. We've created this old story, this old reel in our head that's you're like stuck in the mud. You're trying to go one way. You just can't. You can push down the gas as hard as you want. You're just going to keep spinning your wheels. You got to stop, let it dry out, or hire someone to come and pull you out and get to the next step. But the good news is for you, there's a lot of ways to get money. I'll share this with you. I don't want to go into great detail because it's very high level, but it's very simple actually, but very high level to the world is you can gain access to a lot of money through self-directed IRAs, self-directed 401ks. So I recommend you knowledge up. My buddies own a company called Specialized IRA Services. My other buddies own trustetc.com. Again, check out on the website. These resources will be there in the show notes. But Specialized IRA Services and Trust ETC, we've done many more transactions I could even count with both of those companies. And they're both amazing people that own them. You should get to know them. You should learn about it. Why? Let me paint the picture. Let's say if you're talking to someone, they're 42 years old, and they make $100,000 a year, whatever. It's good. It's good money for where they're at, whatever. But they want to get into real estate. They just don't have the liquid cash to do it, or at least they don't think. My next question is like, well, Steve, do you have an IRA? Absolutely, I do. Well, did you know you can invest your IRA if it's set up properly into a real estate transaction and generate 8, 10, 12% on your money? Tax-free or tax-deferred, depending what environment it's in. And their jaw will drop. They won't even know what you just said, but they're getting excited. And what's cool about that, let's say if they're 42, like I said, and they've been putting money in it since their 20s, they might have 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 or more $1,000 sitting and doing nothing or very little. The truth is, this is called a retirement account. Therefore, at 42, you're not thinking what it's making today because you're just planting money in there trying to hope that it's going to be worth more in the future than it is today. But if they could get into real estate through that path, they can't spend the money anyways in their brain because it's retirement money. They're going to park it on a real estate deal. Say if you have a property worth 200 and you borrow 100, they're in a pretty safe position. And by the way, I know I keep talking about real estate deals because it's just a simple visual, but also this happen. You could do this in businesses. You could do this with anything that has value. Like if I'm trying, like maybe supply someone's like, yo, man, I'm running short on inventory. Well, I'll fund your inventory, but I want a piece of the deal. I want 10%, 20%, whatever. Like, so it's not just real estate. I'm just using real estate as an example. But what's cool about this on a self-directed, and now you become a resource. You know, it's like, Steve, you're not ready, but get with Specialized IRA Service or Trust ETC. They're both great companies. Get it set up. And when you get it set up, or if you need help, let me know. But this company is great. Within 4 to 6 weeks, you'll have it set up, funded, ready to go. There's no tax consequences because you're doing a transfer, not a withdrawal. And it's moving over there, blah, 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 blah. And then boom, in 6 weeks, they get a text like, yo, man, my money's ready. What's up? And then you do a deal. And then you change their life because they're making more money than they were in the other environment. You're getting access to more money and making more money. It's a win, 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 win. I've never lost in life by learning more about money. The psychology of money. A great question, like I said earlier, is ask the person that you're talking to, especially a business owner. Like, dude, what's your biggest struggle right now? And then oftentimes they've never even been asked the question. Because guys like and gals like us here listening to the DM Project, you understand, we're grinders. We have fucking grit. We don't even think we're doing anything. But we know we're working hard. We're pushing. But the truth is, like, we've never sit down and said, what is that big thing? Like, we don't know sometimes because we're just so big. We're so busy in it. So when you ask that question coming from a real place, like, people connect with that shit. And they might stutter. They might stumble. And if they do, let them off the hook for a second. Say, think about it. I can tell you what and they might say, well, that's a good question. What's yours? Because what they're trying to do is think about it, to tell you what theirs is. And then just share be real with them. Is it an employee's issues? Is it getting money issues, getting product issues? Is it marketing? Do you need help with, what? Just share. A lot of times people think this is a weakness. I find it as a great strength. Sharing rawness and vulnerability is my reality. It's what's allowed me to get to where I'm at today in my life. For the first 12 years of my life, I did okay. I worked really hard, almost went bankrupt twice, but I survived, I should say. I didn't do okay. I just survived because I was ego-driven, hard-headed. I can do it on my own. I don't need you. This is the way to do it. No other way, blah, 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 blah. Now today, it's totally opposite. I don't know anything. I'm here to learn. Here's what I'm dealing with. Can you help me? I need help. You need help. Maybe I can help you. Maybe you can help me. Fuck, I don't know. But here's what I'm dealing with. This is the kind of shit you share, and before you know it, you're in a ring of opportunity 24/7. I'm investing in buddies all the time. Like, I want us all to win. I want you to win. I want you to get access to billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever you're trying to get access to. But you got to start now. You got to start talking about money. Start thinking about money differently. Start reading books. You got to start reading books like A Happy Pocket Full of Money. You got to start reading books like, The Trick to Having Money is Having It. You got to read books. The opportunities are now. If you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? When? And that's what scares me is a lot of people say they're going to do it, but they never take the actions to do it. I would love to see you share with me how much you've raised. What are your struggles in raising money? What's hard about it? Let me know. Again, if you have shitty products and all, don't ever ask for money. But if you have a great product and can help someone change their life, you need to be letting the world know. Like, it's like having a cell phone number, but not telling anybody your cell phone number, expecting a phone call. You're sitting around with your thumb up your ass looking at your phone all day. Nothing's going to happen no matter how hard you try. Because you have to share the number. Get the number out there. in regards to the business and the money, you got to talk about the money. If you want more money, talk about money. If you want more problems, talk about problems. That's how it works, guys. It's how it works. So I hope this show helps you. I hope you raise a shit ton of money. Hope you keep me posted. Love to hear. If I need to expand on this more, please let me know on Instagram at Mark Evans DM. I'm here for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm excited for you. And I'd love to talk about money with you, just like I'm doing here. Money, money, money. I'm not money hungry. I'm time driven. If I have a solution to your problem and it's about money, we need to make money together. It's not a problem. Money solves problems. I forget the mentor had always said, Mark, if the problem is money and you have money, you don't have a problem. Money solves the problem. Solve it and move on. Get that money. It's there for the taking. Question is, are you going to go get it? It doesn't just fall out of the sky and get you. There's a lot of, you got to, again, really dig deep in the psychology of money. There's a lot of great books about money. Start learning about the Rockefeller. Learn about how people make money, what their problems are. Your problems and their problems are drastically different. Still with me. I meet people who are worth a lot of money. They don't have the same problems I have. Their biggest problem, people have money, this trust. They don't trust people. They've been screwed so many times. So stop going for the jugular and build a relationship through value. And you'll be so happy you did that. I promise you it will pay off in spades. Not only that, it's enjoyable as hell. Meeting people, helping them, having them help you, learning. And these guys will become your friends, your confidants. They'll grow with you. They'll be there for the long haul. Treat them right. And by the way, if you take someone's money, you fucking pay them back, period. You do exactly, if not more, than what you said you're going to do. Don't be the guy or gal that go gets money and you're fucking slimy and something bad happens and you bail. I'm dealing with the clown right now. He's bailed on me. It's a no-no. Never bail. If you're having a situation, you contact the investor and you have a man-to-man, girl-to-girl, girl-to-guy, whatever talk, you get real with them. You tell them, I'm here, I'm fucking scared, but I'm going to be here and I'm going to figure this shit out with you. And I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do good. I'm going to do right by you. And when you do that and you really mean it, because a lot of people say that bullshit, they don't mean it. But when you really say that and do that and mean that, the universe is paying attention and it will reward you greatly. Do the right thing always and enjoy the journey. Hope you have an amazing day. So with that said, make today count. Boom!
I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. From a small town in Ohio, so I know how it is. Did not come from a lot of money. I remember as a kid, wanted to make 100 racks. Didn't see no one making more than that. Graduated high school with a 1.8. They should have held me back. I hope my principals and teachers are alive just to witness this. I'm my own boss. I'm out here running 2-8-figure businesses. I can walk away from it all and I'll be good, but I've been called to help people just like y'all learn the game. It's time to ball. Everybody chasing the money, but I'm not chasing the money. I'm out here chasing the purpose. Yo, I've been working my whole life. What got us where we at isn't gonna get us where we wanna go. So it's time to push, time to learn, time to grow. I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. The journey's where it's at. It's all about the process. It's time to get over to the DM project. I'm Mark Evans DM. Deal maker, deal maker, deal maker, DM project.
This is thepodcastfactory.com.